Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Children and Youth Services. Speaker, the emotional and financial cost to Ontario families and businesses has skyrocketed due to the lack of funding and support for children and youth mental health services by this government. In fact, Mr. Speaker, according to Ipsos data, 25% of Ontario parents are missing work because they are concerned with their child's mental health. When will this minister take immediate action to help children in Ontario and address the growing crisis in children and youth mental illness in this province?
Thank you. Minister of Children and Youth Services.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I mentioned with the earlier question, you know, when you compare the Progressive Conservatives' approach, their platform to finding solutions and supporting families when it comes to mental health, their actual investment is much lower than what we're currently investing and far below what we're proposing to invest in the future. Mr. Speaker, $1.9 billion is actually a cut to the system. Over a 10-year period, based on inflation and other factors, it would actually be a cut to the system. And those cuts will result in a lot of people losing their employment and providing services for people. In addition to that, Mr. Speaker, this is the party opposite that is proposing to cut $6 billion from the budget, and we know where that's going to come from. Mr. Speaker, my ministry alone is a $5 billion ministry. What are you going to do, just get rid of children and youth services?
Thank you. Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. That response was an insult not only to the children and families of this province, but to Kim Moran, who's here in the House today, who's been an advocate for children's mental health for years upon years. 15 years you've done nothing with children's mental health, and the statistics are showing it, Mr. Speaker. The data released today, it's been a 72% increase, the number of young people going to ERs for mental health concerns. That's up from last year's 69%. Mr. Speaker, it's 79% increase in the number of young people being hospitalized. When all the other data for youth are going down, mental health is going up because this government has ignored it, and it's only because of an election they're deciding to maybe announce to do something about it. It's pathetic. How can the people of this province trust this government any further? It's time for a change. Will the minister commit to actually following through on their plan today?
Mr. Speaker, when it comes to this government, we've always stood up for children and families here in the province of Ontario. And you know what's unacceptable, Mr. Speaker? What's unacceptable is the track record of the party opposite. This is a party, when it comes to children and youth services, that made massive cuts to the system. In fact, Mr. Speaker, we know when it comes to children and our efforts that we've put forward, for example, to put forward free medicine for children, that party voted against it. When that party was in power,